Hello, this is Jane again. Today, I'll present what must be done for the Hmong in Vietnam who are stateless because of their Christian faith. As mentioned in the first video, there are more than 2,000 households of Hmong Protestants with about 10,000 individuals in the provinces of Gia Lai, Dak Lak, Dak Nam, and Lam Dam that are stateless. In order to obtain government-issued household registration cards and ID cards, they must have land on which to build a home and cropland for which they have received a permit to cultivate. But ironically, Vietnam laws require government-issued household registration cards and ID cards in order for the permits for land usage to be granted, creating a vicious cycle. Without the household registration cards and ID cards, married couples are denied marriage licenses. Their children are denied birth certificates when born, and thus are not allowed to attend school or receive social welfare benefits. Children who receive birth certificates cannot have the father's name listed on the documents, which makes them illegitimate children. The following actions must be taken concurrently to fight this grave injustice. Number 1, seek international intervention. And number 2, demand that the Vietnamese government fulfill its obligation to protect the rights of citizens. Seek international intervention. As a member of the United Nations, Vietnam is required to comply with the UN Charter, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, sex, language, or religion. The Hmong Protestants have been persecuted because of their race and religion. Vietnam has signed a number of international human rights treaties guaranteeing children's right to citizenship, education, and not being stateless. Many international treaties require Vietnam not to discriminate on the basis of race and to guarantee the following rights of their citizens. Number 1, citizenship. Number 2, marriage. Number 3, freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. And number 4, livelihood. By keeping Hmong Protestants stateless, Vietnam has seriously violated the international treaties it has signed. The international community needs to know that. Vietnam's Civil Rights Project has brought the persecution of the stateless Hmong Protestants to the attention of the United Nations and is compiling lists of affected Hmong households for a direct international intervention. The United Nations Charter, governments may not discriminate on the basis of race, sex, language, or religion. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, Article 24. Every child has the right to acquire a nationality. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 7. Children have the right to be registered immediately after birth to a name, nationality, and states parties must fulfill these rights in accordance with other national and international obligations, especially where children would otherwise be stateless. The International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, Article 5. Everyone has the right to nationality, to marriage, to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, to freedom of opinion and expression, to freedom of movement and residence within the border of a state, and to education and training. The International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. Article 11. Everyone has the right to a good standard of living for themselves and their families, adequate food, clothing, and housing. This standard of living must be constantly improved. Article 12. Everyone has the right to the highest standard of physical and mental health. Article 13. Everyone has the right to education.